This illustration deals with floor outlets in rectangular and round buildings. NEC 210.65, B as in boy 2, address the requirements if you have such buildings. The purpose of the change is mainly a revision. It has been made and accepted to clarify that the length versus width concerns while addressing non-rectangular meeting rooms such as those that are round. This revision provides flexibility to provide floor receptacle outlets or outlets to supply receptacles, providing flexibility to the installer and designer and accommodating hand-wired furniture that would have receptacles. The 6 foot from the wall rule is to allow for emergency egress without having to cross over flexible cords and things of that nature. So let's take a look at the first requirement, which is at the right of the, and it shows the round part of the illustration, and it says round, meeting room, non-rectangular. Then notice we could come in and have a receptacle that's out 6 foot there in this room, if we met, in some cases up to the inspector, the 215 square foot with a floor plug rule. Now, notice that we have a rectangular meeting room to the left at the top with an arrow pointing to it, and it's at least 12 foot wide. And if we had a meeting room, if we look at the bottom call out, and it shows the rectangular room with a bullet there, an arrow pointing to it, and it says meeting room with 250 square foot with a floor plug. So we can measure out 6 foot, just like we did here, looking at the 12 foot wide or looking at the 215 square foot area. And notice that this applies to single phase, 120 volt, 15 or 20 amp receptacle outlets in the room. Now you know this where we had tables and meeting rooms where we could connect computers and things like that, or just any kind of cord and plug connected type equipment. This provides a means to do that, as the purpose of change pointed out, without tripping over extension cords or long cords plugged in that people could trip over. I would like to kind of remind you of the previous 210.71, B as in boy 2. It was a problem, for it applied only to square or rectangular shaped rooms, and we have a lot of round type rooms in certain places, or just part of the room, being round in some cases. So the boxed in information then refers you to first bullet 210.71A1. The second bullet refers you to 210.52A1 through A4. And then the third bullet says C210.72C. Then we have all the requirements in there for plugs, switches, and so forth. Then in the note, it says, just for to get a good feel of what we're requiring here, review 314.27B and Article 5.18 for rooms of assembly, and also look at 210.65B2, exceptions 1 and 2, and then we get a real good feel for these floor outlets in 210.65B2, as well as the wall outlets that would be required.